Shiva Tatvaya Dhimahi Tanno Mohan Prachodayat. Om Bara Brahmaya Vidmahe Shiva Tatvaya Dhimahi Tanno Mohan Prachodayat. Om Bara Brahmaya Vidmahe Shiva Tatvaya Dhimahi Tanno Mohan Prachodayat. Om Gam Ganeshaya Namah. Om Sam Saraswataya Namah. Om Gurur Brahma Gurur Vishnu Gurur Devo Maheshwara Gurur Sakshat Parabrahma Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah. Jai Mohanji, everyone. Jai Mohanji. Thank you so much for joining us today. Just to make sure, is everything okay? Can you hear me okay? Can you see the screen? If you just quickly type a message for me on the chat. Okay, thank you, Rish. So welcome to the first lecture or the first talk on the Shri Guru Gita explanation. These talks are going to be rather informal. So I encourage questions. So if possible, you can type out the questions you have on the chat, or you can just jump in at the end of each slide, or when I ask if there are any questions. Whatever the question is, please ask. I think the point of the series is for all of us to learn from each other. Whatever little knowledge I have, I am freely offering it to all of you. And of course, you should have the same attitude. Whatever knowledge you may have, please freely share it with us. And in the end of this entire series, hopefully we all would have grown together as one family and as one unit. So some of the series that lectures that we're going to go through will have slideshows. That's when we have to explain a little bit of background before we look at the text of the Guru Gita itself. Some will just be a general chat, nothing formal, no slideshows, no pictures, just us talking. But for me, I think one thing that you can do is to get a piece of paper and pen and jot down points. Keep a Guru Gita explanation book where you have this. If you can't, it's okay. We are going to record all of these lectures and put them up. I will speak to the ashram pujaris and see if we can even transcribe what we speak about and put them as a text or a brochure for people. So either way, you will get most of the things that we speak about during the lecture. So don't stress. And I think that is it. I think we can start. I was actually quite excited about this talk. The Guru Gita. Just to recap what we spoke about 3 weeks ago when we introduced the series and asked if people would be interested in the series. The Guru Gita is the epitome of the Guru Kripa movement. So if your tradition, if your sampradaya consists of grace from a guru, consists of getting knowledge from a guru, consists of worshipping the guru, consists of seeing the guru in a particular way that allows you to merge with the divine. This Guru Gita is really one of the most important scriptures there is. This Guru Gita describes to us who the Guru is. It describes to us what our relation to the Guru is. How do we achieve the Guru? How do we make the Guru happy? How do we merge with the Guru? How do we become one with the Guru? And what the benefits are of worshipping the Guru. But not only this, this is the academic side of Guru Gita, which is important. But Guru Gita itself creates certain seeds, certain impressions inside of us that allows us to merge and connect deeper and deeper and deeper with Mohanji. So the Guru Gita not only allows us to understand who Mohanji is, and this, not only does it describe to us how we can get closer to Mohanji, but just the recitation of the Guru Gita itself has such profound, complex energies in it that it allows us to immediately integrate deeper with Mohanji. So if you are looking for one tool or a tool that will allow you to reduce your ego and increase Mohanji in you, the Guru Gita is an amazing scripture to do it. And what's beautiful about this is that you don't have to be perfect to start doing the Guru Gita. You don't have to have any level of skill before you start applying the Guru Gita as part of your sadhana. You need skill to meditate, because meditation is single-pointed awareness on a particular object, on a particular thought, on a particular space. But that takes time to achieve and is a process. Chanting as well is difficult because
come.
Over and
Have you
over.
started doing the
You got to chant this mantra over and over and over again. Your mind wanders. So it takes a little bit of gumption. It takes a little bit of effort. It takes a little bit of seriousness almost to be able to do certain types of sadhanas. But Guru Gita is a type of sadhana where you're just reading something. Even if your mouth just moves, enunciating the words of the Guru Gita, you get some benefit. Of course, maximum benefit is obtained when you add certain other external variables to the Guru Gita, which we're going to speak about today. But it is a technique that you can easily go into no matter what your mindset is. See, if you are having a bad day, right? Your boss scolded you at work, or your wife is nagging you to paint the rooms or change the light bulbs, which you are not in the mood to do. Going to go and chant after that is very difficult. Going to go and meditate after that takes willpower. It's very difficult. But it's much easier to just take a copy of Guru Gita and start reading. Even if you just read the English translation of it, that's amazing. That immediately will make you feel better. It's because there are energies that are activated inside of us when we read the Guru Gita. And as we go on, as we speak about what each verse means, how it affects us, and why it's important to remember certain aspects when chanting Guru Gita, all of this will make much more sense. If we read Guru Gita at a comfortable pace, We are looking at somewhere between 45 minutes to an hour. The faster you read, of course, the faster it would be. Some people read Guru Gita in 30 minutes. Uh, if you're doing the Sanskrit versions, some people do it even quicker because it's not understanding anything, it's just repeating certain syllables. But in my own experience of Guru Gita, the first time that I actually sat and read Guru Gita properly, it took me 3 years to get through it. It took me 3 years because when you read the Guru Gita, it is a scripture where every single stanza has so much of meaning to it. It takes time to wrap your head around what it means. And then as you read the Guru Gita and as your evolution happens, you'll find that the meaning that you tried to come to in the beginning may have not been the correct meaning. Then you need to go back, read again, put everything into context of what you learned now, and the meaning changes. So it took me a very, very long time to actually properly read Guru Gita. 3 years. And I want to share some of the insights that I had while reading Guru Gita. Of course, every bit of knowledge that comes from these discourses only comes from grace, comes from Mohanji. So whatever you learn during this Guru Gita course is grace from Mohanji. All of the mistakes, all of the wrong things, all of that is my own ignorance. So with that, with giving all the glory and all of the gratitude to Mohanji, I think we can start looking at the first part of the Guru Gita. So today, I just want to do the introductory verses. But before we get to the introductory verses, it's important for us to understand the structure of a mantra. So any mantra, any stotram, hymn, any scripture has 6 things that are associated with it. Now, these 6 things are like the biography of what you are chanting or saying, right? It is the identification of what you are chanting or what you are saying. So knowing these 6 things are very, very, very important when you want to fully understand what this mantra is about, what the stotram is about, what this hymn is about. It very succinctly summarizes everything that you are going to chant or read in a few lines. Now, these 6 things are Rishi, Chandas, Devata, Beejam, Keelakam, and Shakti. Right? Some say there's a 7th. The 7th is the goal of the chanting. Why are you chanting? What do you want to get out of it? Right? So Rishi, Chandas, Devata, Beejam, Keelakam, Shakti, and the goal. Now, whenever you chant a mantra, whether it's Mahamrityunjaya mantra, Gayatri mantra, when you're doing kavachams, and I'm sure if you think back at the Shiva kavacham that Mohanji chants, that very first paragraph that he says, these words will probably be familiar to you. The Rishi, the Chandas, the Devata, the Beejam, the Keelakam, and the Shakti. So let's go through this. Let's see what each of this is, and then we'll apply it. Then we'll start the introduction verse of Guru Gita. Right. The first thing is the dimension of Rishi. So Rishi refers literally to seer, right? It is the sage, the saint who performed such intense sadhana, such intense tapasya, that they were able to purify themselves completely. They were able to still their minds completely. They reached the stage of no mind. And when they reach that stage of no mind, they perceived an internal vision of some sort of consciousness, universal consciousness that lays hidden in everything. So after all of the tapasya that they've done, after all of the sadhana that they have done, when their minds have completely stilled, they experienced God. They experienced Parabrahma. They experienced that universal consciousness that is in everything. Now, they took that consciousness, that universal consciousness, that energy, and they attached a sound vibration to it. That sound vibration is the mantra or the stotram or the hymn or the whatever that you are using as your sadhana. For the sake of this first part of the talk, let's just call it mantra, right? That is how these mantras come. Mantras are not just made up. And certainly mantras are not just made up by anyone. Mantras are created after years, decades, lifetimes of purification. Mantras have to come from a still mind. Otherwise, whatever is in your mind gets diluted or polluted. It pollutes the mantra, it dilutes the mantra. The mantras that we have been created by great saints. Agastya Muni, Dakshinamurti, Sri Dattatreya, and some mantras are even created by gods. Now you can understand how strong these vibrations of these mantras must be if gods are actually having internal visions of some consciousness and they are trying to describe their consciousness through vibration. So the Rishi of the mantra is that person who has either created that mantra, right? Or secondly, is the first person that attained siddhi of that mantra. Now this comes to the Guru Parampara part of this dimension of a mantra. Now, by saying who the Rishi is, you are actually identifying the Guru Parampara, the lineage of teacher to student that comes to you. Who was the first teacher of this mantra? Who was the first person that obtained siddhi of the mantra? And this Shakti from this saint, from this sage, moves from that sage through teacher, student, teacher, student, teacher, student, through the parampara to you who is chanting it. So this dimension of Rishi is very, very, very important because it is the transmission of the Shakti of the mantra. It is transmission of the Shakti of the mantra. That's the second reason or the second aspect of the Rishi dimension of any mantra. There's a third aspect to the Rishi dimension of a mantra, and that's the companionship of the saint. So in your sadhana, in your journey to become one with the universe, there are three very important aspects that you need: seva, satsang, and sangha. These three aspects are absolutely vital if you want to realize your true nature. You can't realize your true nature without these three aspects. And Mohanji speaks about these all the time: Seva, Satsang, and Sangha. Sangha is the companionship of people with high vibration. Now, this in itself is very important because it actually molds your mind, molds your desires in a certain way. There's a saying, birds of a feather flock together. There's a reason for that. If you want to be a very successful businessman, who are the people that you should hang out with? Other businessmen, right? Because they rub off on you. You get ideas from them, they encourage you. If you are trying to be a successful businessman and you are hanging out with a bunch of people that don't have any goals in life, what's going to happen to you? You eventually are going to start off with all of these beautiful goals and you're going to end up with nothing. Or thinking of it in a different way, like in my case, right? If I really, really, really wanted a six pack, all of my friends should have six packs. I should be going out with friends like that because they will influence what I eat. They'll influence how I see myself. I will see them with six packs and all of these pretty girls all swooning over them and wanting their attention. It will encourage me to go to gym. They'll give me advice when I'm at gym. They will change my lifestyle in such a way that it will allow me to get the six pack. But instead, what did I do? I surrounded myself with people like Ajay who loves to feed me. So if I don't have a six pack, my reason is my Sangha. My Sangha was not there for a six pack. So similarly, in spiritual life, you have to surround yourself with spiritual Sangha, spiritual companions. Now, the Rishi dimension of a mantra is your Sangha. It is who, sorry, it is who you are associating yourself with. It is whose energy you are associating yourself with. It is whose influence you are associating yourself with. So that is the Rishi dimension of any mantra. The second dimension that we spoke about is called Chandas, right? Chandas is, if you look at the linguistics of a mantra, Chandas is that precise linguistic structure of a mantra, or the meter of the mantra, or the rhythm of a mantra. Every single mantra has a particular chandas. Now, these chandas, from a Vedic point of view, has a very, very important role. One of the most important roles of this chandas is that it ensures that the mantra that you're chanting is either taught to you correctly or repeated correctly by you. So each mantra has a particular hymn or the song of the mantra, how the mantra sounds when you chant it. Now, if you are chanting the mantra with this hymn, with this beat, with this structure, and suddenly in the end something goes off, you might be a few syllables short of the structure or a few syllables more from the rhythm, then you know you chanted the mantra wrong. That there's extra syllables or less syllables in what you are chanting. See, a mantra has to be very specific, a specific number of syllables, because each syllable activates a certain chakra, granthi, or energy center inside of your body. So to ensure that you chant the correct number of syllables and the correct syllables, there is this chandas. So the rhythm will tell you whether you've chanted something correctly or incorrectly, at least from the point of view of adding syllables and taking out syllables. So this is a list of the chandas that we have in Sanatana Dharma. Gayatri Chandas. Gayatri Chandas has 24 syllables and has a rhythm where it's broken up into 3 parts of 8 syllables each. That is why Gayatri mantras are all 24 syllables. Every Gayatri mantra that is chanted has to have 24 syllables because it follows the Gayatri Chandas. And it has to be broken up in 8 syllables in the first line, 8 syllables in the second line, 8 syllables in the third line. For instance, if we look at the Savitri Gayatri mantra, Tat Savitur Varenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhyo Yo Na Prachodya. If we count the number of syllables, let me see if I can get the pointer. Right. There you go. Let's count the syllables, right? So that's 1. I need to move this out of the way. Right. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. There are 24 syllables. 24 syllables. Each syllable, as you can see, will activate a certain chakra, a certain nadi junction, a certain granthi in your body. There are other chandas. Usni is 28 syllables. Anustub is 32 syllables. Bhrati is 36 syllables. Pankti is 40 syllables. Trishtub is 44 syllables. Jagati is 48 syllables. Now, there are certain combinations that can change. The rhythm can change slightly. So, for instance, for Pankti, instead of 4 tens, so 4 lines of 10 syllables each, we can have 5 lines of 8 syllables each. So there are certain combinations that change. Brahati, you could have 4 lines of 9 syllables, which still gives you 36. But the number of syllables will always remain the same. The number of syllables must always remain the same. Now, there is a deeper meaning to this, not just the syllables. There's a deeper meaning to the chandas. In the Chandogya Upanishads, there is a shloka that says, fearing death, the brightest beings entered the 3 Vedas. They covered themselves with the meters. That's the chandas. But death looked closely and saw the bright ones hiding there. Now, the bright ones refers to the Devas, the gods, right? The gods were afraid of death, according to this Upanishad, how the Upanishad is describing it. So they hid themselves inside of the Vedas. And they covered themselves with the chandas so that death could not find them. But death, of course, looked very carefully and found these bright ones hiding in the Vedas. So what does this mean? So the chandas is there to ensure that the consciousness of the mantra is not directly exposed. So that the inner light of this mantra that you want to create inside of you, this transformation that you want to create inside of you. It's not something that is easily exposed to everyone. The Chandas protects it. So in other words, the Chandas is really saying that in order for you to actually look at what lies within the mantra, what consciousness lies within the mantra, you have to look closely beyond the Chandas. You've got to find it. Like how death had to look closely to find the bright ones. That comes through repetition of the mantra. Experiential knowledge is the only way in which we are going to understand what lies within the mantra. Remember, the mantra is just the covering of what the Rishi perceived, the light that the Rishi perceived, the bright being of what the Rishi perceived. The Chandas is covering it. We got to use the mantra now in a certain way to undo the covering and experience the brightness. You do that by repetition of the mantra. And this is very, very, very important. You won't achieve siddhi of a mantra without repeating the mantra. You won't truly understand what a mantra means until you repeat the mantra. And when we say repeating the mantra, it's not repeating the mantra 10 times in a day and doing this every second or third day. It's not just standing while you're walking or while you're cooking or while you're driving and you say, I'm repeating this mantra, I'm getting full benefit of the mantra. Yes, you do get benefit of the mantra, but it is not that experiential knowledge that you need to expose that consciousness that the Rishi wants to give you. You know? So it's important that you repeat the mantra. Chandas means indirectly you must repeat the mantra regularly in a way that you start feeling the knowledge that is buried in the mantra. Devata, the third dimension of any mantra. Devata usually means God, but it comes from the root word div. Div means bright or infinite or shining. It's a shining being, the bright being, the infinite being, the energy of the deity that this mantra belongs to. So every single mantra, every hymn, every stotram is associated with a particular deity. The consciousness of that deity sits in that mantra. That supreme manifestation of that deity is put into a vibration form of a mantra. So the mantra is the vibration form of that Devata. So what is manifested when the Chandas reveals itself is the consciousness of the mantra, which is the Devata. The consciousness of the mantra is the Devata. How are we doing so far? Is it okay? Are you following? Are there any questions with these three aspects so far?
So the consciousness is basically the light, divine light.
Correct. See,
Okay.
in truth, we say divine light because that's the closest we can get to experience it. That's why they call devas, right? Bright beings, light beings. But in truth, para brahma is beyond light, because light is a outcome of duality. Because there's darkness, there has to be light. Because there's light, there has to be darkness. If you take away darkness, what is light? Light is the absence of darkness. Darkness is the absence of light. So you are 100% correct. It is the light of the mantra because it represents the Devata. But that's the point that I wanted to make, is that this Parabrahma, which we trying to merge with, is beyond this light. But maybe as we
So
go
that
on,
means,
we'll
thank
get
you
into
so much.
it.
So that means beyond experience. Is that what
Beyond
you're saying?
experience. Correct.
Experience.
100%. That's a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful way of saying it. Beyond experience. Beyond the experience of duality. Just being. Just being. Right. Great. Please ask questions. Please comment. It'll make it easier. Otherwise, it's going to get so boring. Right. So, the Devatas, right? This is exactly what we're talking about now. This Parabrahma, and Parabrahma is called by different names by different sects. But this Parabrahma, this formless God, this God that has no sense of duality, there's no name, there's no identification, there's no form, there's nothing. This formless God is very difficult to perceive or to explain to someone, especially someone that is living in this physical plane. So when the Rishi experienced this formless God, they tried to say, okay, I need to explain this to others so that they can experience Parabrahma. So what did they do? They perceived this formless God according to their mode or their nature. So the balance between the sattva guna, raja guna, and tama guna inside of them allowed them to create a physical manifestation of this unseen para brahma, this para brahma that has no form. And that created the 33 Vedic gods, right? These are 33 hierarchies or 33 personalities that they saw in this Parabrahma based on combinations of Sattva, Raja, and Tamas. The 12 Adityas, the 8 Vasus, the 11 Rudras, and the 2 Ashwinis. Now, these 33 Vedic gods permutated, combined, the various components of each of them were mixed together, and that created the 33 crore deities that we have in Sanatana Dharma today. So 330 million deities that we have in Sanatana Dharma can trace their lineage back to the 33 Vedic deities. And these 33 Vedic deities, if you just take away the combinations of the 3 modes of nature, gives you Parabrahma. So this 33 crore deities, 330 million deities, all represent one aspect, one part, one constitution of this Parabrahma. And why there are so many of these is because of the dimensions that exist in human beings. Human beings are so unique, they are so varied, so complex, that there are 330 million different constitutions that are out there. Each of these constitutions have one particular deity that they will be attracted to. So each mantra that we have is assigned to one of these 330 crore, 330 million deities. That is what a deity is. A deity is an energy. A deity is a constitution of Parabrahma that a Rishi saw and tried to explain to us. The truth is, and this will offend many people, but the truth is that the forms of the deities that we see is just the way that the Rishi tried to explain the energy of the deity. Lord Ganesha is an energy. Lord Ganesha is not a man sitting with an elephant's head. The man sitting with an elephant's head has a certain personality. When you see an elephant is majestic. An elephant moves smoothly through the forest. An elephant can destroy, but only when it wants to. An elephant removes things from its path, even big stones, simply because of its size. An elephant has huge ears and a small mouth. This all represents particular attributes that a particular person will be attracted to. It doesn't mean that he has an elephant head. Why our deities have so many arms, so many heads, different types of heads, so many feet, so many eyes, is that the rishis wanted to show that they're more than just human. So they took us and they expanded us. They imagined how we would expand if we were more than what we are. So I hope I didn't offend anyone by saying this, but this is the truth of the evolution of the 33 crore deities from Parabrahma to what we see. It doesn't mean that they don't exist. It doesn't mean it's lies. These forms are not lies. These forms are the result of tapasya. It can only be truth. But there's a higher truth, which is the formless God. Does that make sense, everyone? Are we okay so far?
I have a question.
Yes.
Going back to how you define, you said the mantra is a creation of the Rishi. So, so I had not understood it correctly previously. I thought this was already sort of existing out there,
100%.
and
Not creation.
they just
seer. They are seers. You're 100% correct. They are seers. Seer means they saw it. So they saw this Parabrahma. They felt this vibration of Parabrahma. Right? They saw the energy that is contained inside of the mantra. And that's how the mantra manifested. Creating means you are creating something from nothing. It's not nothing that they created it from. So it's not their imagination. You know, many modern mantras are imagination. Those are created. Seers looked at Parabrahma, felt this extreme energy of Parabrahma. And according to their constitution, their mode, their nature, they tried to take that vibration of Parabrahma and put it into a sound form. So it said that they saw the sound form. That's because they saw Parabrahma, they felt Parabrahma. You see, even the word saw is not the right word because saw implies mind. You can't see something if you're using your mind. Remember, these rishis reached a state of no mind. So it's not that they saw something. This mantra existed before the rishi. Right? The mantra existed before the rishi. The rishi just tried and took it and made it available to us based on their constitution. That's why certain rishis' mantras are very intense, very, very intense. Certain rishis' mantras are soft. Certain rishis' mantras have a very melodious ring to the mantras. But certain Rishis' mantras are hard. That depends on the mode of nature that they were, sattva, rajas, tamas. Does that help?
Yes, yes, I understand. Because even like Ravana,
100%.
yeah, I mean, I don't know if it's a mantra, but the Shiva Tandava Stotra, kind his
Ex-
personality comes through. Yes, yes.
exactly. 100%. 100%. Because Ravana was so full of rajas, right? The Shiva Tandava Stotram has that very royal feel to it. You know, that boom, 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 boom. It's fast paced. It doesn't wait for anyone. Almost aggressive to a certain point. You know, you are aggressively calling Lord Shiva. Lord Shiva, come here. I need you now. Come here. So you are 100% correct. Even the Tandava Stotram has what we spoke about, the six things. The Rishi. If you do the entire thing as a sadhana, the Rishi is Ravana. It's very interesting. Okay, let's go on. Now we come to Beeja, right? The Beeja dimension of any mantra. So again, there was Para Brahma. So the Rishi experienced Parabrahma. Right? Let's use the word experience. Saw, as we said, implies mind. Experience implies less mind. So let's use the word experience. There's no word in the English dictionary to actually explain this, because whatever word you use implies mind. Right? But let's just use the word experience. So the Rishi experiences Parabrahma. Right? This being that is beyond form, that is beyond duality, beyond anything physical. Now, they realize that they have to perceive this Parabrahma, whether it meant perceiving through the little mind that they had, the little ego that they had, the little duality that they had. So they perceived this Parabrahma as a sound vibration. So from nothing, from shunya, from absolute nothing, the first thing that was created was sound. That sound was Om. And what makes Om so beautiful is that even phonetically, it's a very unique sound. It is the only sound that you can make without needing your tongue. So Om is made up of three syllables: A, U, and M. These three syllables, there's no need for your tongue. All other Sanskrit syllables, your tongue has to move in a certain way to produce the sound. So this Om, the syllable Om, is one of the most natural sounds that come out of your voice box, your vocal cord. There's no manipulation of the sound that is coming out of your voice box. That is why it is the pure representation of being natural itself, the pure representation of Parabrahma, Om. This Om represents the whole physical dimension of Parabrahma: creation, preservation, destruction. Om. Past, present, future. Waking state, sleep state, deep sleep state. So this Om represents the physical aspects, the subtle physical aspects of Parabrahma. That Om became more gross. It split up into different Beejas. Now, Beejas are the seeds, the seed mantra of particular energies. So let's say a particular Rishi, right? Like Pratangira Muni, right? A particular Rishi, Pratangira Muni. Pratangira Muni, with his tapasya, had the divine vision of Parabrahma, the divine experience of Parabrahma. But his constitution said, I need something more physical. Then Om came, right? This Om is described as a loud roar that he heard. Now, more his mind needs to try and give a form to this Om, to make the Om more gross. And in that case, the Beeja of Sri Patangira Devi came, which is Shrom. So the Beeja is that quintessential essence of that deity that the Rishi saw in Parabrahma. For instance, the Hrim Beeja is the Beeja of Bhuvaneshwari or Mahamaya, the Shakti Beeja, the Beeja that represents Mother Shakti. The Shrim Beeja is the Beeja that represents Mother Lakshmi or Mother Lalita, Tripura Sundari. So the essence of Mother Lakshmi, the essence of her, who she is, what she is beyond that form of seeing her with the money and things like that, that essence, if there's one vibration that represents her, it is a single mantra, Shreem. The single Beeja, Shreem. Aim is the Beeja of Guru. Aim is the Beeja of Mother Saraswati. Kleem, Kleem or Cream, is the Beeja of Mother Kali, the Beeja of Lord Krishna. So these Beejas refer to the essence of who the deity actually is. Each deity is assigned a particular core Beeja. Right? That is the Beeja of the mantras. Then we move on to the Keelakam of the mantra. The Keelakam of the mantra refers to that pin, that key that is needed to unlock the mantra. So you can think of it as a password, right? The consciousness that you want is in your laptop. Your laptop has a password. Now, what do you need to do to get to the consciousness? What type of password do you need? Is it an alphanumeric password that you got to type out? Is it a retina scan? Is it a thumbprint? Is it voice activated password? What password do you need to get access to this energy? Now, in terms of mantra, it is what type of persistence, what type of willpower, what type of discipline do you need to get to the mantra, to get to the consciousness of the mantra? That is Keelakam. Shakti. Shakti refers to the power or the energy of the mantra. Now, we can think of this entire aspects as a farmer, right? The Rishi is the farmer, the one that is doing the farming, the one that has come up with this entire process, this technique of doing the farming. The Chandas is the process that the farmer takes to do the farm. So how does he do it? Right? What are the things, the steps that he does to farm? The Devata is the fruit of this tree that you want to grow. The Beejam is a seed of this tree that you want to grow. The Keelakam is the process of what you have to do to the seed for it to grow. So you got to water it. You got to make sure it has rich nutrients. You got to make sure it has a lot of sunlight. That is Keelakam. What do you have to do to the Beejam, to the seed, to eventually get the Devata, the fruit? The Shakti is the sprouting of the seed. So the Shakti represents kinetic energy in movement. It represents the action, right? The Shakti of the mantra. And all of this is for the goal. The goal is to get a tree which has fruits. Any questions so far? No questions? Okay, great.
So I have
Yes,
one
yes,
question,
Piyali.
Swamiji.
Yes.
So the Keelakam, you said that it tells us the amount of persistence and willpower needed
For
to
what type
to
of persistence and willpower is needed? Yeah.
to can you explain that again, please?
Okay. The story goes like this. Every mantra, like the Gayatri mantra, the Savitri Gayatri mantra, Om Bhurba Swaha Tatsavitur Varenyam, that we all chant. Durga Saptasati, for instance, has been cursed by certain rishis and munis, so that the energy that's inside the mantra cannot be exposed directly, cannot be exposed easily. So Durga Saptasati, if you read Durga Saptasati, the introductory parts of Durga Saptasati, they tell you, sages like Vasishta, Agastya, Vishwamitra, all cursed the Durga Saptasati, so that demons can't use the power of the Durga Saptasati and misuse it. Because when you chant these mantras, you are building a lot of energy inside of you. What you do with that energy is up to you. You can squander it, or you could use it for really productive things. Now, the Keelakam is what protects the mantra. So you need a key to undo the lock. You need a key to undo the lock so the energy of the mantra can easily flow through. Now, that is it in symbolic terms. Practically, what it is, no one has a key around their neck while they're chanting some mantra. You're going to ask your Guru, Guruji, please, my Mohanji, I want to chant Mohanji Gayatri mantra. Please give me a key that I can put around my neck, and I'll chant the mantra and the power will come out. No. That's just symbolic, right? What it means is that there has to be a certain amount of discipline, a certain amount of discipline that you have to do when you chant a mantra. Keelakam tells you what discipline you need. So some mantras, your discipline may be complete brahmacharya. Some mantras, your discipline will be only eating one fruit and a half a glass of milk for the entire day. That discipline, that type of discipline, is what unhooks the mantra, is what allows you complete access into the mantra. Understand, Piyali?
Yes, now I get it. Thank you.
Okay,
Thank you.
Great. So let us start. Let us look at the first verse in Guru Gita, the first introduction verse in Guru Gita, and let's look at it in terms of what we learned now. Right. So the introduction verse to Guru Gita, Om Asya Shri Guru Gita Stotra Mantrasya Bhagavan Sada Rishi. Sada Shiva Rishi. Right? It means Om, Lord Shiva is the Rishi, sage and seer of the mantras, in this hymn known as the Sri Guru Gita. So first we see it says Asya Shri Guru Gita Stotra. It's giving you the name, the identity of this scripture, of this either mantra or this hymn. In this case, Guru Gita. Now, this is very important because there are so many songs of various deities. There are so many Gitas out there. If you are trying to relate something about someone, how are you going to do it without giving an identity to it? So the very first line is naming what you are going to do. Everything, every mantra has a name. Shiva Panchakshari mantra. Lalita Sodashi mantra. Every mantra has a particular name. Even stotrams have names. So this stotram, they're saying the name is Guru Gita. Sada Shiva Rishi. Lord Shiva is the Rishi. But if you look at what they're saying, there's a very eloquent point that is being made here. They're not saying Shiva Rishi. They're saying Sada Shiva Rishi. Sada Shiva is a very interesting form of Lord Shiva. This form of Lord Shiva normally has 5 heads and 10 arms, sitting on a lotus. Sada Shiva. In all sampradayas, in all traditions, there is a concept of Parabrahma, right? That Parabrahma is beyond every form, beyond every form. But in order for them to work in a physical world, in order for us, our minds, to understand that Parabrahma, that formless God, we very subtly give this deity a form. We see it, we look at it, we see the symbolism of it. It doesn't mean the deity looks like that. The deity still represents that formless God, the complete consciousness of God. But it has a form that we can just identify with, so that we have a name to call this Parabrahma. So in Shaivism, this Parabrahma or Paramashiva, they call it Paramashiva, is this formless Shiva, right? The Atma Linga, the Linga of light, the formless Shiva is called Paramashiva. When Paramashiva took the subtlest gross form, he became Sadashiva. So Sadashiva is the highest representation of Parabrahma in the physical world. Just like in Sri Vidya, the highest representation of Parashakti, formless Devi, Parashakti, is Sri Lalita Tripura Sundari. The highest representation in certain Vaishnava sects of Parabrahma, no form, Parabrahma, is Mahavishnu or Narayana. So in Shaivic scriptures, Sadashiva is the representation of Parabrahma with the subtlest gross form. That's why he has 5 heads. These 5 heads of Lord Sadashiva represents the 5 aspects of creation. It represents Ishna, Tatpurushaya, Vamadeva, Sajyota, Sadyojata, and Aghora. So these represent directions: up, north, south, east, west, 5 directions. It represents the 5 elements: ether. So Ishna Deva is ether, the middle head, Ishna Deva is ether. Then water, fire, earth, and air. It represents 5 Mahabhutas, Panch Mahabhutas. Everything in this physical dimension, whether it is the dimension that we live in, as well as the other subtler dimensions, the dimensions that all of these deities with forms live in, they are made of the 5 Panch Mahabhutas. Our dimension is made mostly of earth, the earth element. Some dimensions are made mostly of the fire element. No, people call it hell. Some dimensions are made of the ether element, Those are the heavens. So even the heavens are a physical manifestation made up of various combinations of these Mahabhutas, these 5 elements. This Para Brahma is shown with 5 heads to say that he is the creator of these 5 elements. Him in the form that we can reach in our physical dimension is called Sadashiva. Now, the Rishi of Guru Gita, the one that created Guru Gita, is the highest form of truth, is the highest form of Para Brahma that we as human beings can perceive with our mind. Now that says a lot about the stature of Guru Gita. So it isn't just Agastya Muni or Anasuya Devi or Patanjali or other saints that created these mantras. It is Para Brahma himself that has created the Guru Gita. Now, some forms of the Sadashiva doesn't just have 5 heads, but has 25 heads, right? So, and it has 50 arms. So it's just taking Sadashiva and expanding those dimensions into more dimensions, right? Some people call this 25 head Sadashiva Maha Sadashiva, right? Because he has more heads, he must be greater. So it's Maha. 2 heads are better than 1. So the Rishi of Guru Gita is telling you that there's no scripture higher than this. What you are reading now is the most ultimate way to perceive Para Brahma, the most ultimate way to perceive yourself. Because the most ultimate being is telling you, this is how you do it. This comes from me, Rishi. Nana Vedani Chandamasi Shri Guru Paramatma Devata. So the rhythm of this hymns are diverse. The deity is Shri Guru, the Supreme Self. Nana Vedhani Chandamasi. Right? Remember we spoke about Chandas. This is now identifying the Chandas. It is saying here that the Chandas is diverse. Remember, Chandas was the process that is needed to unhide the light that is in the mantra. What is covering the mantra? This is saying all processes are possible. The process of using the path of pathlessness is required for Guru Gita recitation. This is what this is saying. That this sampradaya of chanting Guru Gita as a sadhana is the path of pathless sampradaya, the Dattatreya sampradaya, the Shiva sampradaya. This means that the chandas of Guru Gita, the process of Guru Gita, is walking the path of pathlessness. What does that mean? Be yourself. Be natural. Be present in this very moment. So if you want to uncover what is veiling that Para Brahma inside of the mantra, be yourself, be natural, be present. And I'm hoping that you all are now slowly seeing how this Guru Gita actually follows our tradition. Guru Gita is the essence of Mohanji. Guru Gita is the essence of Mohanji. Guru Paramatma Devata. The deity is Shri Guru. Now, This means that the light that is hidden inside of this mantra is Guru. When you achieve the siddhi, when you get perfection in this mantra, in this hymn, this Guru Gita hymn, you merge with the divine Guru. So you become one with Mohanji, you become integrated with Mohanji as you read this Guru Gita over and over and over and over again. As you read Guru Gita over and over again, you merge, you are integrated with Mohanji. This also calls Guru the Param Atma. It calls Guru a Deva, a God. And this has very unique connotations because it brings your mind back to who exactly is Guru. And the first line in the whole Guru Gita that's giving you a clue, the first time you're getting a clue of who Guru is. Here, Sadashiva is saying Guru is God. He's not giving you any more hints or clues. He does that in other spaces. But this is something that you have to keep in your mind throughout reading Guru Gita. And the understanding of what he means when he says Guru is God becomes clearer and clearer and clearer as we read Guru Gita. Right. Ham Beejam, Sa Shakti, Krom Keelakam, Shri Guru Kripa Siddhyartha Japa Vinayogaha. So Ham is the Beeja mantra. Right? Remember, Beeja mantra we said is the seed, the essence of the deity. So this essence is the highest and most subtle essence, Akasha Tattva. It's the most highest, most subtle essence of all mantras, of all Mahabhutas. The essence of this allows for the full awakening of Kundalini. That is why Guru Gita itself is a sadhana. Some people don't do anything else, but just chant Guru Gita in different ways. This Guru Gita will allow you to attain all siddhis, eliminate all types of elements. And that all is because the Beeja, the seed energy of the Guru Gita is Ham. The Shakti is Sa. Sa, is there a question? Any questions? Did someone unmute? Okay. Sa represents the most complete form of Devi. Devi represents energy in action. That means the Guru Gita is something that you have to express with action. There's no point in just reading the Guru Gita or chanting the Guru Gita and not doing anything about it. You have to take the knowledge of Guru Gita and implement it in your daily life. Lord Dattatreya explains in Dattatreya Yoga Samhita that just chanting a mantra is not good enough for tapasya. There are other aspects that you have to get in place to make that mantra powerful. Lord Sadashiva is saying the same thing here. He's saying to make the chanting of the Guru Gita powerful, take these ideas and integrate it inside of you and apply it into your life. Now there's a secret. There's a secret. The Keelakam and the Shakti. The Keelakam is Ha, Ham. Shakti is Ha. If you put these together, because Keelakam and Shakti always go together, what are you getting? You're getting the concept of Soham Hamsa. So from the Shakti, Ham from the Keelakam. Soham or Hamsa is one of the most powerful techniques given by Lord Shiva in the Vigyan Bhairava Tantra. Hamsa meditation, Hamsa, Soham Hamsa meditation is one of the highest meditations, highest japa that there is. It's called Ajapa Japa because it's a japa that happens spontaneously inside of you. You become that mantra. Ham refers to the inhalation, refers to Lord Shiva. Sa refers to the exhalation, refers to the Shakti. Hamsa is the process of I am that. I am Parabrahma. I am Shiva. It refers to the concept of the union of Shiva and Shakti. So simply by understanding Guru Gita, you achieve the highest goal of Ajapa Japa, the highest goal of the merging of together of Shiva and Shakti. Chrome Keelakam, right? The Keelakam is chrome, the magic, the mystery, the thing that you need, right? The thing that you need to open up the lock, chrome. Chrome is broken up into various aspects, right? Ka, that stands for joy, for fame, for experiencing life to the fullest. Ra is the Beeja of Agni Deva, the Beeja of fire. Ma stands for comforts in your present life and future life. Most sadhanas normally give you one thing. So it'll either give you a very comfortable life or it will give you spiritual life. Most sadhanas will give you one of two things. But there are three sadhanas that give you everything. Shiva sadhana, Datta sadhana, and Sri Vidya sadhana. That's why these three sadhanas are so sought after. Everybody wants to practice Shiva Vidya. Everyone wants to practice Shiva Vidya. Because these sadhanas give you absolutely everything. Now, this Chrome Keelakam is telling you that the secret is that this Guru Gita will give you everything. It has strong spiritual parts, so the Agni Beeja, that will burn everything. Plus, it will give you comforts and allow you to enjoy those comforts. So your life is full with everything right from the beginning. Other mantras that give you material joy can give you spiritual benefit after you die. But these three sadhanas give you spiritual benefit right now, gives you liberation right now. That's Krom Keelakam. Also, right, remember we're speaking about the key. Keelakam is the key. What attitude or discipline do you need to open up the secrets of the mantra? Krom Bijam is the Krodh Bija. It is the Beeja of Krodh Bhairava or Krodh Kali. It's the Beeja of a very angry Ugra deity. It is the Beeja of anger, but it's more the Beeja of overcoming anger. Why do we get angry? We normally get angry because things don't go our way. things don't go our way. When things don't go our way, we get angry. Right? That's why people get angry, because they want something to go their way. And of course, when it doesn't go their way, they get angry. So overcoming anger, what do you need? Complete acceptance. So the discipline of Guru Gita is acceptance. Accepting everything, flowing, being malleable, flowing with the river. Acceptance, surrender. That is what the Chrome Keelakam tells us. Shri Guru Kripa Siddhartha, that means you are going to attain the Guru's grace. The goal physically is the grace of the Guru. Because through the grace of the Guru, absolutely everything is possible. Absolutely everything is possible. Right. So does everybody understand? And this was just the first verse, not even the first verse. This was the introductory verse to Guru Gita. And we took 1.5 hours.
Thank you so much. I really understood what Keelakam means today. Nobody ever explained it the way you did. Thank you.
Thank you, Geeta. Thank you. Thank you. Any questions?
Swamiji,
Who is that? Let me
it's
introduce.
Samira.
Samira. How are you, Sam?
I'm good, Swamiji.
Ah,
Busy.
I can
Yes.
imagine. I can imagine.
Um, Swamiji, with the previous slide, with the Keelakam, so we need to have acceptance, practice acceptance
Correct.
to
Correct.
yeah.
Correct.
Okay.
So you can see how this links directly with Monji. Because what is Monji's technique for liberation? Right? We have to align ourselves, align body, mind, and soul. That means you got to accept yourself, completely accept yourself for who you are, what you are, where you are. Not inflate where you are. Because you can never progress forward without knowing where you are at the moment. We will never be able to progress forward if we have these vivid imaginations that, oh my word, I am such a profound meditator. Or these imaginations, oh, I don't need to meditate, I did it in my past life. I'm past that. It's when we are honest with ourselves that we understand the value of Guru. Right? Because what does Monji do? Monji comes in front of you not as a playmate. A playmate is someone that will stroke your ego, will make you feel good. If you want that, Sam, if anyone wants that, go and get married. Go find yourself a husband, go find yourself a wife. You'll have a beautiful playmate that will stroke you in different ways too.
Yes.
Will stroke your ego every day. Your wife will stroke your ego.
Yes.
You'll be looking like a baby elephant, but my darling, you are so sexy. My darling, you just make my heart race so fast. That's not who Monji is. If you want to be broken, if you want to see yourself without any masks, then you go to a Guru. Then you go to a Guru. That is why acceptance is the key to Guru Gita. Acceptance is the key to the Guru path. Because if you cannot accept what the Guru is showing you, you're wasting your time. You're wasting your time. So when the Guru puts you in a difficult situation, because that's how the Gurus teach, right? Monji says, Gurus teach by putting you in situations where you are forced to learn. If you don't learn, they'll put you in more situations. The same cyclic situation over and over and over until you learn. Until you learn. That's who
So
you
even
go to when you want to break the cycle.
so accepting ourselves, accepting situations, even accepting everything as it is in this present moment, and just
That's
yeah.
it. That is it. That is
Mm.
it. 100%. 100%.
Swamiji.
Complete exposure. Yes.
So when we, I'm struggling a little bit with it. So acceptance, yes, that is something that we want to, reach.
Yeah.
But how about when we see something um, uh, negative or immoral, or something which is not acceptable when you're in your, in your life, like you are in the
100%.
grihasti.
Yeah.
So how can that acceptance happen?
Acceptance does not mean not doing something. This is a big misconception, and this is why Sanatan Dharma is where it is today. This is why Sanatan Dharma managed to fight off Mughal invaders, managed to fight off the British, managed to fight off the Chinese invaders. But right now we're falling apart, because when we say acceptance, we feel it means doing nothing. Right? Your husband is beating you to death. Guru Gita teaches me to be accepting. I'm going to stand like this and allow my husband to hit me. That is not acceptance. That is being tamastic. Acceptance comes from pure sattvic intentions, not tamastic intentions. So doing something about a situation is actually part of acceptance. Doing nothing is not acceptance. It sounds contradictory, but when you just sit and think about it a little bit, it'll make more sense. Acceptance means, in spite of doing whatever I had to do, I accept whatever the results are.
I see.
For instance, right? For instance, your child is having a heart attack in front of you, right? Are you going to say, oh, Mondi, I accept this? And you look at the child while your child is having a heart attack. Will you do that, Piali? No.
No.
No, right? I hope not, Piali. I hope not. I hope not.
Of course not. Yes. Yes.
You will do everything in your power to save your child. Everything. But what happens in the end is Monji's work. He may work through you to save your child. You rush her quickly to the hospital, or him to the hospital, and the child gets saved. He'll work with the surgeon. That is acceptance. Acceptance is not lying back and just accepting everything.
So if somebody is wrongdoing, like if we feel that something is not right, so we can take measures to protect ourselves. But after all that, we just accept whatever, the outcome is, like whether the person accepts you or does not accept you.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
But
we
you do
have
what
to
you
stand.
have to do. You must
Right.
stand. You must stand. I tell our people, our gods have weapons in their hands. Which other gods have weapons in their hands? Our gods have weapons in our hands. Why are we so placid? Why don't we stand up for Sanatan Dharma? If you protect your Dharma, Dharma will protect you.
Right. Very clear.
Okay.
Thank you.
Great, great. Lakshmi is asking that if we have a mantra that we're chanting 24 hours with devotion, but not the correct rhythm, does it mean that we have less effect? You see, the rhythm is there to make sure you're chanting it correctly, as in the correct aksharas, the correct syllables. It doesn't mean that you're not going to get any benefit from it. It doesn't mean that at all. The physical rhythm, there's the physical rhythm, which helps you with the physical pronunciation of it. But then there is the inside rhythm. What it actually means inside, that is important. If you understand what it means inside while chanting, it's perfect, 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 perfect. So for instance, when we chant Guru Gita, or when I chant Guru Gita, I have no idea what the actual rhythm is for each of the verses. I chant it as it comes naturally. But I know that the chandas means all chandas, which means that I am following the path of pathlessness. That lesson of the rhythm is what is important. It's not necessarily the physical way of doing it. I mean, it sounds beautiful. If you can physically chant mantras in the rhythms that it should be chanted in, it is amazing. It creates a whole new vibration, physical vibration outside. But if you can't, it's okay. It's okay. You know, we all are not blessed. We all don't have the punya to actually learn from great saints and masters, things like rhythm and proper Sanskrit grammar and things like that. So don't stress about it at all. Don't stress about it at all.
In fact, the very first line you mentioned, Nana Vidhani Chandansi Shri Guru Paramatma Devata. So even I think if we make a mistake, it says it's all okay,
It's all
right?
okay.
All rhythms are
100%. All
possible.
rhythms are
Yeah,
possible.
yeah.
Swamiji, one more question.
Yes, yes.
So it is important to understand the meaning of the mantram and then chant.
Correct.
Is that
Correct.
okay? So
Correct.
without
Correct.
understanding the meaning, you're saying that it is not effective.
Not that it's not
Yeah.
effective, it's less effective.
Less effective.
See, remember what Lord Datta said in Dattatreya Yoga Samhita? He said that just chanting a mantra alone is not tapasya. Because we could be unconsciously chanting the mantra.
Yeah, yeah.
That's not tapasya. But when you understand the meaning, the deeper meaning of the mantra, when you chant, it gives you a whole new aspect to what you do. For instance, Om Namah Shivaya. Chanting Om Namah Shivaya is so beautiful. But if you understand Om Namah Shivaya is invoking the Panch Mahabhutas, which are the physical manifestations of Lord Shiva. You're saying that Lord Shiva, who is the Lord of the Panch Mahabhutas, who is the Lord of everything, including you and me, I bow down to. You implying that you are Lord Shiva, I am Lord Shiva, the tree is Lord Shiva, the seat that you're sitting on is Lord Shiva, the mala that you're chanting on is Lord Shiva. That's the inner meaning of Om Namah Shivaya. Aham Brahmasmi, or Shiva, Shivoham. I am Shiva. So if you have that thought in your mind when you chant Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, there's just a whole new feeling that comes up. That's the difference between Upasana and Sadhana. This feeling that comes up, this from the meaning, the deep meaning and study of the mantra, that makes it Sadhana.
Okay. Okay, Swamiji. Yeah, thank you so much. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, this is very new to me because sometimes we very mechanically keep chanting the mantra. So.
And it's not that it won't help. It's not that it doesn't.
Yeah.
It definitely does help. It definitely does help. It still activates certain chakras in you. But when you have this understanding and you are applying that understanding while you are chanting, there are certain neurochemical reactions that happen, or electrochemical reactions that happen in your brain that create a new pathway, new neurological structures in your brain. That's why some people can chant a mantra 10 times and there's extreme transformation in them. Because when they chant it from a place of Shakti. With full understanding, they immerse themselves in the understanding of the mantra.
Yeah, thank you very much, Swamiji. Thank you very much for this.
Thank you. Kirsch says, By understanding the mantra and then chanting it, does it mean that we are choosing it because we understand it? So a mantra is not something that we can just choose for ourselves. Each mantra, like we saw the picture of the Gayatri mantra, there are certain chakras that are activated. It's so important that the right chakras are activated at the right time for you. Now, we don't know what chakras are activated and not activated in our body. That's why we want to do sadhana. We want to reach a stage where we understand the inner workings of who we and what we are. That is why a guru is absolutely vital, because the guru will see what state you are in, what state the chakras in, and what mantra can be given to activate you, to make you move forward. So all mantras you chant must come from your guru. If your guru tells you to chant a mantra, you chant the mantra. And guru is Mohanji. Guru is not the family priest that comes and does a puja for you and then tells you, please chant this mantra. Guru is the person that you trust so much that you are putting the most important aspect of your life at his feet. You're putting your spiritual life at his feet. Lifetimes of you are putting at his feet. And you're saying, guide me. You have to trust someone that much for them to be a guru. It's only them that will make it, will give you the right mantra to chant. And in that expression of them passing the mantra to you, they pass the meaning of the mantra to you. So as you chant the mantra, more and more and more of the meaning of the mantra comes. So this understanding is not just an intellectual understanding. This understanding is not intellectual understanding. This understanding comes from the experience of chanting it. This one paragraph that we spoke about now, this introductory verse, I've never seen any book that explains it like this. Why this Keelakam? What does this Keelakam mean? How does it apply to our daily life in actually chanting Guru Gita? This all comes from experience. It all comes from experience. That comes from Guru's grace.
Hi,
Okay, so
Swamiji. Sorry. Hi, Swamiji.
hi.
I wanted to ask that how does the mantra Ram or the name of Ram apply in this?
So the name of the deity, right, is no different from the deity itself. The name of the deity is said to be even more powerful than the deity itself. That is scriptural injunctions from various Puranas. So the name Ram is the Beeja, the symbol, the consciousness of Lord Ram. So by chanting the name of the Lord, you are chanting the essence of the consciousness of the deity. So for instance, in Guru Gita, at some point it says the highest mantra is Guru. So the highest mantra is the name of your Guru. Just like that, we're saying the highest mantra for Lord Ram is the name of Lord Ram.
Okay.
And then you can go into more complex things by breaking up the name Ram into various akshars that mean something. Ram is a derivative of one of the Agni Beeja akshars, which means the mantra Ram is a mantra that burns through many things. It burns through what is trying to harm you. It burns through certain aspects inside of you that you want to get rid of. That's why this mantra Ram is given to people that have addictions. So if you have an addiction, one of the mantras that is prescribed or can be prescribed depending is Ram, 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 Ram. Because it creates this fire that can burn through your addiction. through the blockage that's causing the addiction. So even names of the deities are not made by chance. It's not by chance that he was called Ram. Does it help?
Yes, yes, it does. Thank you so much.
We'll speak more about this when we come to the section where it says the Guru, the highest mantra is the word Guru. The highest mantra is the name of your Guru. But it's a brilliant, brilliant question. But I hope I touched the surface of it just to satisfy you.
Yes, it did. Thank you so much, Swamiji.
Good, good, good. If I don't, please feel free to say no, right? Any other questions? We went overboard today. My idea was 1.5 hours per lecture. But I thought it was important to go through all of this. Because it's one thing, right? Introduction is one aspect. There's more to the slides, but what I'd like you to do is to think about everything we spoke about. Because remember, we said in the beginning that this one introduction verse describes the essence of Guru Gita. What is the essence of Guru Gita? What is the essence of Guru Gita? Okay, that's it for today. Thank you very, very, very much, everyone, for joining us today. I truly, truly appreciate it. So a lot of people are asking for the recordings. What we are most likely going to do to make it easier will either put up the recordings on like Facebook, or I had the idea of actually transcribing. So maybe we transcribe it and we send it to you. But this is a way that many teachings happen. Nothing is spoon-fed. Nothing is spoon-fed. That's why I said, try and write down some things. So go back and think about them. Go back and think about what this means. I'll try and get you English translation of Guru Gita. It's very hard to get the one with all 186 verses, but even if we get the one with the 108 verses, I think it's fine. We can use that to follow along. Okay, thank you everyone. Jai Mohanji, Jai Mohanji, Jai Mohanji. We'll send you the link, Lakshmi. I'll email you the link, the actual Guru Gita. Okay, thank you everyone. Jai Mohanji, bye-bye. Bye.